Thanks, Alan. Shares were mostly up on Wall Street on Friday night, thanks to unemployment coming down. The Dow hit its highest point since June 2008 during the session. There was a bit of profit taking, but the blue chips and the broader market put on 0.5%. The optimistic mood was fuelled by latest jobs data showing the US has turned the corner. Unemployment hit a 2-year low, and there's now speculation that the Federal Reserve will have to tighten monetary policy. Oil gained again on expectations of stronger demand in the US and the continuing violence in the Middle East, while the Aussie dollar hit a fresh high just below $1.04 US. In takeover news, Nasdaq and Intercontinental Exchange launched a cheeky $11 billion counterbid for the iconic New York Stock Exchange, trumping the merger deal with Deutsche Börse and potentially leaving US regulators with a headache. It was a good week on world markets. The US added 1% and the other stock markets gained 2%. With details on Australia's share rally, here's Marcus Padley.
We've now bounced 8%, recovering from the 9.4% fall we've had since the Japanese earthquake. The uranium stocks retain a bit of a headache. The US, China and Germany are all reassessing their nuclear programs. This week the Aussie dollar hit a 29-year high. The gold price remains near record highs and the oil price hit a 2.5-year high. Resources outperformed, as did banks. We saw some retail sales numbers which are a bit ahead of expectations as Queenslanders appear to have started buying things to replace the stuff lost in the floods. In resources, the story that won't go away is that BHP might be looking to buy Shell's stake in Woodside and possibly bid for Woodside. The Woodside share price is up about 16% in a couple of weeks. Riversdale Mining saw their bid from Rio go unconditional this week. We saw Iluka up on the back of some positive broker research. We saw Newcrest up on speculation of a bid for Harmony Gold in the US. And rare earth stocks were up after Lynas Corporation did a 10-year distribution deal with the Japanese, and Arafura went up on their coattails. In industrials, Nufarm was down on results. Sigma Pharmaceuticals shot up on results. The big story was JB Hi-Fi announcing a $170 million share buyback. They jumped 7.4% on the day of the announcement. In retail, Colorado went bust. At the same time, Harris Scarfe looks like coming to the market with an IPO worth $120 million. In bid talk, Ozstar was up ahead of a bid from Foxtel. Transfield Infrastructure Funds shot up on a bid, taking Transfield Services, who owns 43% of the company, up with them. We also saw AMP complete their acquisition of AXA. Qantas told us about problems with the high oil price, describing it as the biggest challenge since the GFC. They've done all sorts of cost-cutting measures to combat it. And we also saw Cochlear up as one of their major competitors in the US, saw their chairman, CEO and CFO all resign over share trading irregularities. Winner of the week this week was Biota, up 42% after a 5-year contract from the US government. And loser of the week was platinum miner Zimplats, on new rules from the Zimbabwean government that they need to be 51% owned by local companies by September.